Workers and immigrants must reclaim the Democratic Party. A house divided against itself cannot stand. Abraham Lincoln. Relationships take work. If you have marital problems, do you get a third partner or work to fix what you have? The same goes for politics. Encouraging liberals to abandon the Democratic Party for third-party or independent runs harms the progressive movement more than it helps. We need to speak up and take back our Democratic Party, not waste energy chasing independents or third-party campaigns that fail to address the real needs of workers and immigrants. Workers and immigrants deserve justice. For over a decade, workers and spouses of immigrants married to American citizens have been fighting for federal human and civil rights, only to be ignored or silenced by lawmakers across the political spectrum. Whether it's Republican legislators, state-level Democrats, or third-party leaders, too many have chosen to side with the elite and small business owners over the lives of American workers and immigrants seeking justice. Instead of helping us, local lawmakers silence us, betraying the very people they were elected to serve. Workers, immigrants, and their families deserve leadership that amplifies their voices, not a system that ignores their struggles while bolstering corporate interests. Son Sanders and the push for independence. Son Bernie Sanders recently suggested that independent runs might be effective in some circumstances. But how is running as a third party or independent helping when you remain silent on critical workers' issues, like a National Workers' Compensation Commission or the federal human rights of immigrants and their families? If third-party candidates are going to waste votes and time, they should at least speak up for workers and immigrants, not distract from the larger fight for justice. The problem with third parties' history shows that third-party campaigns often face insurmountable challenges: limited ballot access, independent candidates struggle to get on ballots nationwide, insufficient resources. Without the infrastructure of a major party, funding and organizing efforts fall short. Lack of media coverage. Third parties rarely receive the attention needed to compete effectively. These barriers lead to electoral failures that waste resources and momentum, making it harder to achieve real progress. State-level distractions. Whole WA&M 4A state-level initiatives like Whole Washington and campaigns for Medicare for All reflect the desire for change, but often fail due to political and financial resistance. Whole WA, for example, proposed a nonprofit public health insurance plan but couldn't even advance out of committee in Washington's legislature. These efforts pale in comparison to the federal changes desperately needed to protect workers and immigrants nationwide. We've spent years chasing local pipe dreams while neglecting the systemic, nationwide reforms that could actually change lives. Reclaiming the Democratic Party. If you want to truly fix America, or even make it great again, start by removing the Republican business-minded plants that have infiltrated the Democratic Party. Workers and immigrants don't need to divide their efforts into third parties or independents. Instead, we must, primary corporate Democrats, replace Republican-lite lawmakers with true progressives who fight for workers and immigrants. Focus on federal issues. Demand a National Workers' Compensation Commission, federal labor protections, and immigration reform that respects the rights of American citizens and their families. Organize within the party. Use the Democratic Party's infrastructure to challenge elites and push for systemic change. The path forward. Workers' rights, immigration justice, and labor reforms are not partisan issues, they're human issues. It's time to stand up and fight for a Democratic Party that serves workers, immigrants, and their families, not the elite. By organizing, speaking up, and reclaiming the party, we can create a movement that addresses federal issues and protects all Americans. Let us remember the words of Thomas Jefferson: "The care of human life and happiness, and not their destruction, is the first and only object of good government." When lawmakers silence workers and immigrants, they betray this core principle. The Bible also speaks to justice and standing up for the oppressed. Speak up for those who cannot speak for themselves, for the rights of all who are destitute. Speak up and judge fairly. Defend the rights of the poor and needy. Proverbs 31 verses 8 to 9. Let's stop chasing distractions like third-party bids and state-level initiatives that go nowhere. The fight for justice begins with taking back our party, our unions, and our future. Stand up. Speak out. Reclaim the Democratic Party for the people it was meant to serve.